Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Thursday, September 4th, 2025 Town Board meeting at 6 o'clock, and I move that we open the meeting and go into executive session.
Now, second?
The purpose of?
Oh, the purpose of is to discuss legal matters pertaining to the silo owner's tax cert.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay. Matt, are you ready?
Okay.
He's ready. Okay. Then, let me get this a little bit closer. Okay, so I move that we leave executive session and begin the public meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, emergency exits are the door that you came in and this door over here. And Dawn, if you would do the roll.
Supervisor Lockman?
Here.
Council members Rebellard?
Here.
Ham?
Here.
Ahern? Here. All present.
And I'm going to move that we accept the agenda with a few changes. The first is we need to add an executive session to discuss Kent Hollow litigation at the end. And we need to remove 3 of the resolutions, the one about the silo owner's tax cert lawsuit because the document isn't ready, the CPL contract amendment, which is the next to last, and the RFQ for the landscape architect, those didn't get drawn up. And then we're adding one, which is authorizing a special counsel for Kent Hollow, Article 78, that was just delivered this week. And so that will be at the end of the other resolutions. And I guess that's it. We'll start with,
Is there a motion on that amendment? You moving that
I
motion?
moved it already, yes.
Second?
Thank you, Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No? How about that?
Good.
Okay, we'll have public comment. Actually, could someone close the door? Thank you. We'll start with public comment on things that are on the agenda, 3 minutes per person, and directed at the planning board, directed at the town board as opposed to, other people in the room. Yes, Ken?
Good evening. Thank you, Board. I want to start by saying I don't think any of you are malicious people or have any malintent. I think you're all kind, and I think your service, there is a but. So all those nice things, and add as many as you'd like, I probably agree with you, but I want to give you some context on having a meeting on the holiday. And I've heard from several people what some of the concerns are. And I went back to look at whether those concerns are legitimate, we have never done this, or we don't want to do this because we've never done this, but then I found out you have. For instance, the first meeting of December 2023, you had a meeting on the 7th of December and the 14th, 2 meetings week after week. So if you say, well, we can't do 2 weeks in a row, you've done it not only then, but several times.
And was that last year?
2023,
Oh, okay.
okay? If you're concerned about, someone at one point said, well, we don't want to have meetings in December too close to the holidays, to the Christmas break. I believe that was discussion at that time. Last year, you're 24, you broke on the 19th, which was 2 days, I believe, I left my notes at home, before Christmas break started. So there's a little bit of inconclusive as to we can only do it this time, we can't do it another time. Earlier this year, you had March, you had 3 meetings in a row, the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st. Thursday, the following week was a Wednesday, and the following week was a Thursday. And you can say, well, the Wednesday meeting in the middle, we didn't have on a Thursday, it was a special meeting, and we couldn't because we wouldn't have a quorum, and one person wouldn't be there because they would be observing their Holy Thursday holiday. So we had to cancel the meeting. We didn't cancel it so they could observe the holiday. We canceled it so because we wouldn't have a quorum. I'm sorry, but that is BS.
That is-
Because that is just
Oh, BS.
BS.
Yes, didn't hear.
Wait a minute, I can say bullshit, the president does. That's just bullshit. And here's why. Because you could say, well, we didn't do it because we wouldn't have a quorum, but the real reason is you allowed this person to respect their holiday, like it or not. And there's intention and perception. And it doesn't matter what you intend.
10
What's
seconds to
perceived,
say,
pardon?
10 seconds to 3.
Okay, what's perceived is, well, you let that person have it, but we don't want that group to have it. And that is anti-Semitic. The last thing is, I told you last year that you were having, couldn't attend because you were holding a meeting on my holiest day of the year, and you said, shame on us.
Okay, time, thank you. Anyone else? Judy?
To speak on the same topic, yes, there really should be a no-brainer to change a date when it falls on a holiday that is very important to a segment of the population. And I don't understand why there should be a problem. I'd also, in one minor way, this is on the agenda. If when you stand to do the Pledge of Allegiance, you could leave a few seconds for the audience to get up and start saying it, and to the rest of the board, that would be very helpful, thank you.
Okay.
Because we wind up when you're about 20 words into it, so thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Walter?
Thank you, Walter Dietrich. Route 22, Armenia. I see on the agenda you're talking about the traffic on Mechanic Street and Main Street. And first, a question, why that particular? That's a
Well-
question.
I know.
Okay.
The issue is because there's been a lot of complaints about a lack of parking or parking in the wrong place.
Thank you, got it. The reason why I'm asking is why aren't you talking about Broadway also? Sitting on my back porch, which is on 22, I listen to the cars race up and down Broadway. And I've become very concerned about the welfare of the people, especially the children that live and play on Broadway. So I'd just like to keep that in mind. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Then, next on the agenda is the supervisor's report, which I believe is me. So let me just pull that out. Okay, shorter than usual. I'm sure everyone will be relieved. Let's see, the sidewalk to Beekman, they have poured the curb, the concrete curb to Broadway now, and they'll be starting on the top surface, but they have not poured the curb from Broadway to Beekman Park, and they haven't started on the paving itself, so it's frustrating, but it's in process. The AV upgrade, Rosanna said that she'd heard concerns about the meetings and announcements not being shown on Channel 22, and while I was sort of hoping that people could be taught new tricks, I don't want to make it hard for people to see what's going on. So the AV consultant has ordered the equipment, and we hope to be back on Channel 22 very shortly. Town hall repairs, the last bit of exterior painting work is the rails down to the playgrounds and the parking lot, which should begin soon. Mechanic Street, Fountain Square, and Wassaic Center, all of those require us to hire a landscape architect, which we will hopefully vote on, not at this meeting, but the next one. The 2026 budget, I just wanted to give you dates if you hadn't seen them. The tentative budget is supposed to go to the town clerk on September 30th and be presented to the board on October 2nd, which obviously we're going to try to reschedule. There will be review sessions on Monday and Tuesday, October 6th and 7th. Preliminary budget Thursday, October 15th, and public hearing on November 6th. And the last thing is EMS services. After negotiating a 3-year contract with them earlier this year, We just received a letter from Northern Dutchess Paramedics that they've been bought out by Empire, which is a company that serves a lot of Westchester and all the rest of Dutchess County. That means that we don't have there's no competition. We don't have anyone else that we could use for EMS, they are going to honor the contract for the next 2 years, but after that, we're kind of on our own, and we know that Empress is more expensive. So we're hoping by then that New York State will mandate EMS as an essential service, which they never have, and that Dutchess County will then create a system to do all this more efficiently, because neither one of them has stepped up, and they're very aware that the towns are kind of being completely buried under the cost of this. Okay, Supervisor's report. Dawn.
Town clerk report.
Right.
Okay, so
Thank
just
you.
good evening, you're welcome. For the month of August, the town clerk's office collected $317.25. Remitted to the supervisor was $272.75. I'm also, at this time, acknowledging receipt of Maria Geneviese's resignation as animal control officer. Are you guys prepared to accept that this evening?
I'll make that motion
Leo?
with regret.
Thank you.
A second, but I second with extreme regret. Mia has really been very special in the animal control issue. She is always very concerned about animals. She's done a lot of projects like trapping feral cats and having them neutered and then re-releasing them because you can't really train feral cats. And she has done a tremendous amount of work, and I don't know how we're ever going to replace her.
Thanks.
And I'll make the motion, no,
All in favor?
oh, of that,
Aye.
for that,
Aye.
yes.
So we have an open seat, and now, go ahead.
And I'll make the motion authorizing the clerk to post the open position for the dog control officer, building inspector, and the part-time clerk for the planning and zoning.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Nicole, Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And the last thing is, I want to acknowledge receipt and circulation among the board of the email that went around regarding a conflict of interest. And that will conclude the town clerk's report. School is back in session, so while I have my 2 minutes of fame up here, public comment, but please, everybody out there, please be careful and drive safely. School has reopened for this wonderful school season, and that means all of our school buses are out there with their red lights. Kids are crossing the street. They're excited to get home to their parents in the afternoon, so it's not just mornings, it's our afternoon runs as well, so just be cautious.
Thank you. Okay, so under discussion items, the first one is actually changing the date of the scheduled October 3rd meeting, or is that October 2nd? Now I'm getting nervous that I put the wrong date down.
So
Right,
you-
October 2nd, it is October 2nd was the...
October 3rd is what you want to change it to.
I wanted to change it to
Yes.
October 3rd, yeah. If that works for people, that's Friday evening.
Fine with that.
Okay, so is that a
Rosanna,
motion?
It works
that
for
works
me.
for you and it works for you. Ian?
What time on Friday?
6, I thought? Okay, so there's still time for drinking. And Brad, does that work for you?
Yes.
Okay,
So Leo,
then,
is that a motion to change the date, because I have to advertise?
Yeah.
yes, that is a
Thank you.
motion to change the date to
Second?
October 3rd.
I'll second.
Thank you, Rosanna. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Great.
No,
So you want to start it an hour earlier, or are you planning on
6.
our executive session being at 6?
no, I thought we
Regular
should
meeting
start it
is
earlier just because it's a Friday
Friday,
night. that
okay.
we- Yeah.
So regular meeting will be at 6.
Yep.
6 p.m.
Um,
See you there.
There you go, Ken.
There is a calendar that has the dates for next year if you need it.
Definitely send that to
Send it
Rosanna.
now.
Well, we really have to, it would be a lot easier if we did it.
In advance, yes, it would make a lot more sense at the
For the whole
beginning.
year rather than.
And any other holidays, just, let us know before we make the schedule for the year. There was a meeting, actually, Rosanna and Nicole and I had a walkabout with Dutchess County Transportation Council, has been working on a program of prioritizing safety issues in each of the towns of Dutchess County. They had asked about, this was a long time ago, but they had asked about where they should look. And I suggested Mechanic Street because I knew he had issues with parking and with speeding and with and the intersection. They came to look at it, which was great. And they actually prepared a diagram of where they would recommend signs go and other things that they thought could improve safety. The point of doing this is that they will put all this together and send it on to New York State, who obviously controls our two major roads that intersect, and they are also that also makes us available, being listed for grants for work on that. So that was it. I mean, we're still having complaints about the parking, and we need to figure out some of those things, but we're gonna need a landscape architect to actually draw it up so we can apply for a grant and actually do some work.
Can I mention?
Please do.
Are you on that same topic still?
Yeah.
So, the parking issue is an issue as far as, you know, there have been, again, issues of people parking on Mechanic Street, and hindering the emergency services, because they're actually parked full, all four tires are on the road, so that virtually makes it a one-lane road. So I really think that we're gonna have to start having somebody, monitor that, and, you know, start giving tickets. Maybe even we need to hire the deputy sheriffs or somebody to do that, until we kind of get that under control. The other thing is, even, the other problem is, today I was coming down Mechanic Street, and there was a delivery truck, which I'm assuming, I was assuming that it was for Isabella's, but it could have been somebody parked, you know, going across Cumberland's Farm. But even when you had it parked along that yellow strip, so I think that somebody should paint that, which would probably be New York State DOT, right? But it
Yes.
probably would take forever, so maybe we could get a volunteer that would do that. But anyway, that needs to be, and we need to get those signs up on Mechanic Street, those no parking signs.
Yeah, because it's been a problem for a while. I sent an email to Megan to see if we could just sit down and go through the list that was given us by Dutchess County Transportation and see if we can just implement those, because.
Not that people will pay attention to them, because they don't pay attention to the one in Dollar General, but at least they need to be there for.
Yeah,
The other thing we touched on too, after you had left, was we did kind of pick their brain about 343 and the issues we have there. And we brought up the parking lot idea at the basketball courts, but they didn't think DOT would go for it. In fact, they actually mentioned we need to do a traffic study first.
okay.
To look into and try to utilize what we have, which isn't much. Oh, lining for spots, that was the other recommendation. Actually lining out spots along 343.
We actually should do a traffic study anyway, like they did at Maplebrook. I think the sheriffs were the ones that put those signs out there that tells you what the speed is, and they actually do a printout, so you can see how many people are speeding through town.
Okay.
And, you know, the sheriffs, I mean, I think you can contact them. I mean, that is pretty simple, and they just put it there, and then they monitor it, and they give you a printout, and you, at Maplebrook at one time, they had people that were actually going through past Maplebrook at 86 miles an hour. So, you know,
Okay, and I understand that the sheriffs actually can be hired hourly to do traffic.
You can enter into contracts with the sheriffs to do different various work details. I
Okay.
know they do it in our surrounding towns.
Okay. Okay.
But would the parking ticket fee still be our fee, or is it a different fee?
So when you're writing, so if you look at your local code, you will see what the fee schedule is, and then if you
That's-
Google vehicle and traffic law and look up what a parking ticket is, to give an example of a 1201A parking on the pavement, it's 0 to 150 with a $25 surcharge. Ours is starting at $25.
Okay.
No surcharge. So, I mean, there's different things to take in consideration that go into play. So just simply looking up your town code and comparing it to vehicle and traffic. I did talk to one of the deputies today, and he's gonna give me a sample of some of our neighboring parking tickets, where it has like a different material on the paper, where it's not just like our papers like this. So if we put it on the windshield, there's a chance that they could say they didn't receive it, or it just
Right.
gets really ruined and not readable. So I've put some feelers out there to try to get some samples to try to make improvements to that. Definitely would recommend the board to review our current code with the fee structure that is set there. And I mean, it's $25 a day. I might pay my $25 a day to park out
To
on the
park there,
street.
yeah.
But with the snow ordinance coming up, there's no parking overnight, so that's another matter that unfortunately, since our former chief constable is in a different position now, he's no longer out there giving those tickets, so that's the last time we saw tickets was 4 years ago. But I've spoken with the newly appointed chief and him and those gentlemen. We're gonna just walk and I'm gonna show them what Chris used to do and,
He used to issue, okay.
yep.
There is one other, speaking to Broadway, it was requested by a resident of Broadway that when the sidewalk was finished, that they paint a crosswalk
Okay.
there that crosses as you're walking down the sidewalk. And I'm assuming, even though it would kind of on the corner, I think it would still be town, right?
If it's
On Broadway?
if it's on the Broadway side, it should be, yeah.
So it's just something to consider.
Okay, I'll mention that to Megan too. Okay. The last thing, are you ready, Rosanna, to talk about the safety repairs you were investigating? Because we can,
Yeah, and we got the estimate, it was considerably higher than what I expected it to be. It actually is about $10,000.
I'm sorry,
What-
they don't know what we're talking about.
Okay, so there were some concerns raised about safety, security, building security, right? And so some of them were like doors being unlocked, left unlocked. Some were, one of the things was the panic bar in the front door. Another concern was somehow, first of all, where are all the keys? And also the upstairs door, when people are working late upstairs and there's nobody else in the building, there is concern if there was something we could do for that. So we did have somebody come and give an estimate, and basically what he suggested was that we change the locks on the doors, and the only door that could stay unlocked would be the main door. So all the other doors would have the door that once it's shut, it automatically locks, so that if you want to get back in, you have to have a key. So that was one of them.
Was that like 9 doors, if I remember, Rosanna?
Yeah, there's because they're double doors.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? So, yeah.
It says 7, yeah.
Just
It
7 doors, okay.
And
And that's what's driving the cost, is to do that.
Right, is those locks. And the panic bar is about $900, and that's just for the front door. The rest of them have the panic bars.
Yep.
And the reason for that is if you leave the building and you lock it, if somebody's going out, they can't get out either because you have to unlock it. So then when that person leaves, if they don't have a key and lock it, the building is open. So people upstairs could potentially be at risk, right? Because somebody would come in, nobody would see them come in. If you have the panic bar, once the door shuts, right, and it's locked, it'll be locked. So that's the thought behind that, which would actually potentially, eliminate having to get a lock for going upstairs. So that's where we are at. There were a couple of other things, just some thoughts, and actually one of these I think we talked about during the rec meeting is, getting a gate to go across here so that you seal the building off and the gym could be used. People use that side door here, and that's the only door that they come in, so they have access to the gym and the bathrooms there, but they don't have access to the rest of the building. That's a consideration. So the other thing that Dawn and I spoke about was having a walkie-talkie, rechargeable walkie-talkie in each of the offices in case of an emergency.
There is a button on the phone that allows you to make an announcement to all the offices. Because John actually needed that for something this week, so we may kind of have that. We may have that facility already, but I would just check with him because he.
Is it an announcement like throughout the building?
To the individual rooms, to the offices, to each of the phones, basically.
So, and is that connected at all to the phone system? I mean, if the phone is not working, will that intercom still work?
So in part of it was when she was talking as well, to elaborate, was when we were talking about the walkie-talkies is like, so it's kind of like a classroom setting when we go out. So those that go to the back, those that go to the front, it would be a way for us to communicate with each other should we have to leave. or, you know, to vacate the building. So, like the last time when we had a fire drill,
Mhm.
a real fire drill, you know, everybody kind of, some knew where to go out front, because it was the front trees, but then she pointed out, well, when it was a school, there's spots like in the back where one would go. There was individuals that thought it was just, you know, maintenance going on and didn't leave. There was,
Phew.
when we had a fire call here, some took the elevator when they shouldn't have taken the
Right.
elevator. So like, we're talking about the drills and having the walkie-talkies, so she thought that would be, she being Mrs. Ham,
Oh, thank
would be
you.
that we would have a way to communicate with each other should we get spread out outside of the building. It
So like
wasn't
when we
just
had
for
them at
internal.
school,
Right.
people had walkie-talkies, so that.
And they say their
you-
wing's
you-
clear.
It's all clear on the north
Yeah.
side, the south side, the back side, does everybody have everybody? So, I mean, I think there are a couple of reasons, and they're actually, you can get a walkie-talkie for each office for like $200, a rechargeable one, you know, that, I mean, just a thought, you know.
Okay.
So, I don't know where you want to go with this.
So Roseanne, I think you and I spoke about this before. Because we already have a security system where we all enter a code. And more municipal buildings are going to electronic code access. And it allows you to in some cases, even track, you know, times when people are in and out. When you were discussing this, you know, after we discussed this, did you bring up the electronic locks?
I did not again, because Dawn informed me that you can tell from our code system that you can tell who comes in and out.
Well, that's
correct?
only if the door,
That's only if they're using the front door.
correct, yeah.
You have code access on your side doors to get in and out of the building.
Right.
When something's left
That's just for
open
the
or
alarm.
unlocked,
That's just for the alarm.
you'll
That's
know
not-
who,
Yeah.
that's what we do at the
Because
school.
originally, the reason why we went to this particular lock is this all initiated also because of the number of keys out there.
Yeah.
Like only the chair of a committee should have a key, and an alarm code, and we reviewed that today, and we found that that's not necessarily currently true. So there might be keys out there that were once lost and now have been found, and, you know, so we haven't rekeyed the building, and that's how this all stimulated.
But I guess also too, doing this with the locking, when you close it, you don't have to worry about
We didn't
somebody
have to
leaving
worry
unlocked or
because we
anything.
found there was a particular area that the constables had brought it to my attention that were
Constantly being
frequently being
unlocked.
open. So we were trying to alleviate it rather than having to take keys and codes away from people. We were trying to just do it where, hey, look, it happens, they forget to lock it, we're just gonna set it so it always locks. We were trying to alleviate that.
So we're-
But it's,
The other thing is with the keys too, is there was a situation, actually when I was covering for you, where John had to make those keys. A lot of the keys don't work very well, and John explained that the masters are gone, right, no matter where they are, so they're making copies of copies, which never makes it a very effective use. I know I have a terrible time with this door with my key. So, I mean, I think, you know, I don't know, I mean, that.
Are you talking
that's a
about
lot of
exterior
money.
and interior doors, or did you mean specifically interior doors, the key issue?
Well, and getting into the main
the
door.
front door,
Okay.
everybody has an issue.
Yeah, I have trouble with that too.
Right. So there's three main entrances technically, right? So we're talking about three potential lock changes, you know, whether we go electronic or whatever, but, and just to be clear, the access codes that we use are only for the alarm system, not for access to the building. So, I think at this point, if you don't mind, Roseanne, I'm gonna look into that. Because we had the same discussion, I'm on the Millerton Library Board, and we had the same discussion, you know, about safety, and we did end up coming to a decision. So, but I think with the right locks, and they're more expensive, if you get locks that actually track the person's code when they enter the building, it might, or you can just have locks that you can change weekly or put out to the right people. There are many different ways to go about it, but I'll look into that for you.
Where are they getting 7 for here then, at the exit? Because you
This
got,
door, the auditorium,
it's 2,
because there's
right?
things in twos,
Twos,
the back
the back
door
two.
and the kitchen.
Okay.
We were
Just
trying
trying
to
to
cut, because they're all.
I know,
on
I'm
this-
trying to see if we
We're
could cut
trying to
that
cover
down.
like our main exits where,
Yeah.
but I mean, I think the main, we've brought awareness to the staff. our committee members are aware, and as liaisons, you guys bring it back to your committees, so that way they know that this has been it's been brought up by our staff. Several staff members have expressed some concerns. Mrs. Ham was able to take the recent class that, everybody gets to watch throughout the course of the year, and is highlighted and been enlightened by some of the areas that have concerns, due to recent, events that have taken place within our own state, and it's affected our staff differently. We're all aware of it. And as the seasons change, 6, 8 o'clock at night, I've been in my office collecting taxes, and you look up and it's pitch dark, so they can see straight in and I can't see out. And,
Right.
it really you start to think about it. And so if we can just take these simple precautions that we've been exposed to at the school district that have taken serious, we should start here, because it's always said you just never know.
I will remind people, just because I've worked on schools that had security issues like this, that this is a building that typically has 12 people in it, tops. So it's very different than a whole school full of kids. I mean, not that I am devaluing the lives of the people that work here, but I think it's a very different situation, and we need to kind of be conscious of
No, I
that.
think even one life is a serious conversation that we can have offline, but for the staff. But then we also have many residents that come and utilize this building for line dancing. We have karate class taking place here. We have recreation that now has staff that is trying to create events. I mean, we have meetings. Look at this room. There's people in here. We want to protect everybody that's here in front of us tonight. So all of these are little safety measures that we're taking. And the concerns that have been brought up by any of the staff or several of the staff is being talked about and taken seriously, and we want them to know that.
And one of the things that they did mention in that violence in the workplace video is if there are concerns of the staff, it's required of the municipality to take them seriously and to address them.
Okay. I mean, I've spoken to people who may have gotten different responses from the staff than I have, but that's good to know. Okay, so that's it for discussion. Resolutions. We have, again, I'll just read through them so everyone knows, remembers what we're voting on. The first is authorizing submission of New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIIA grant funding application for Water District Number 1. Number 2 is authorizing a memorandum of understanding with the Harlem Valley Regional, Anyway, Council, thank you, about biofilters at the landfill. They made a presentation at the last meeting. The next one is authorizing solicitation of bids for Lavelle Road Pump House and well fields upgrades. And the last one, which just got added because it's sort of an emergency, again, is to authorize a special counsel for Kent Hollow Article 78, which just came in. So I think that's
Yep,
what we
resolution
got.
number 95 is the authorizing the New York State infrastructure. Number 96, authorizing the execution of the MOU. 97, authorizing solicitation of bids for Lavelle Pump. And 98, the appointment of special counsel for legal services in connection with Article 78 commenced by Laurence Levin, Theodore Schiffman, and Clark Hill LLC. Are you moving them?
I'll move that.
Leo?
Them.
A second?
Rosanna? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you. Okay, other matters, town board comments. Does anyone have anything?
Well, I guess I'll start. We had on August 26th, an enhancement committee meeting, and topics we discussed were dates for the 2025 of 2026 spring cleanup, I guess I was saying, and cleaning of the beds and Fountain Square on Valentine's Day, decorating Fountain Square, Wassaic for holiday lights, removing decorations of Fountain Square and Wassaic, cleaning up, etc. So all these dates were going to be, I'll have them released and up on the page, well, the enhancement committee will, so we can get involved in that.
Great.
We also had discussions on our budget. I think we're just about there. That went very well. We talked about renovations in the Fountain Square and Wassaic Green, all business, and then we adjourned. So we had actually a very productive meeting.
Great. Anyone else? Okay, then this is our second public comment, which is on all town-related business. And again, just as a reminder, 3 minutes each, and addressed to the town board. What, Bill? One thing? Is that something you could do as a public comment?
Town Square? Yeah.
Why don't you just be
Go
the
ahead.
first person up for public comment?
I'm done.
We'll start with second public comment.
I have a question for Fountain Square. We have a new rabbi has moved into town, and he has asked if we could put up a menorah
Oh,
on Fountain Square. They will raise the funds. I believe the funds
Yeah.
can be raised to have it installed. So that's something I told him I would ask
yeah, that's great.
if we could do
We had
it.
actually discussed that like last year, so I think that
I'll
we
throw
like the
it,
idea.
give it to the committee, of course, but wouldn't that kind of be a town?
They'll
town
install it
board?
and,
Yeah.
and service it, whatever's
I
gotta be
mean,
done.
Do we even own Fountain Square?
Do we?
Even own Fountain Square?
No, but we decorate it,
We
so.
decorate it.
So I guess that requires, that indicates a certain level of
It's
ownership.
open to the public.
He'll come in as well at some
Yeah.
point. He'll come in. But I
I'm
just
sorry?
want, he is gonna come in and speak to
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
So I just wanted to, I told him I would bring it up.
absolutely. It'd be
Great.
great to meet him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have something to say? Kimberly? Oh, well, she spoke at the first one, so I think you're up.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kim Travis. I'm Rena.
Dawn.
First of all, thank you for this opportunity to address the false and derogatory comments made about me on public forums. These confrontational and slanderous attacks are not just concerning, they're a sad misrepresentation of our community.
Excuse me, point of order here. We're supposed to be discussing town business.
This is town business.
How so?
I will get to that
Yeah.
as soon as I finish this
Yeah. Deduct Brett's time from the,
Thank you.
please continue.
Thank you. They are a sad misrepresentation of our community, and as my attorney assures me, are ample grounds for civil suits should they continue. I'm speaking tonight because these events took place in a public space, and therefore affect all of us.
Excuse me, point of order again. That is a public place where you've been out several days on the street corner there. It's not town property. It's not even in a jurisdiction of the town whatsoever. So point of order here is you're not speaking on town business. It's, you know, we all have freedom of speech to go there. I do, you do. I have freedom of speech right now like you do.
Let her talk. This
You're-
is town business.
Call him. Yeah.
You want me to leave,
Oh,
I'll leave, but this is town
So, listen, I don't make these rules.
I'm sorry, this is completely out of control right now.
Ian, you want to step in on this, please?
So, if this is dealing with any of the town board's business, then it would be pertinent. But if this is an issue that concerns a matter which happened outside of town property, on the street, then I would say that's not town business. It's not part of our agendas, it's not part of any of our
May-
discussions.
I believe that, first of all, you heard from the other woman who was involved in the incident 3 weeks ago when I wasn't here. So it seems to me that if you approve that, because I wasn't here again, that it's certainly reasonable to let Kimberly.
No one approved that. As a matter of fact, the three of us have discussed this, I think you were in the meeting too, that was a mistake, and we need to correct mistakes like that.
Okay,
Should
that's
have-
great, but it seems to me that if we're,
May-
No. Listen, you're out of order as well. The podium's over there, okay? Just for future reference.
May
But
I-
again, you brought up your attorney,
You
and
will-
you just heard an attorney.
And you will understand that
But again, I just want to be clear that this is not,
once
this
I
is
get,
not, so breaking the rules is okay with you.
I'm not breaking the rules.
Brad, it is town property. We decorate it, as we just said, every year.
It is not.
It's owned by the New York City Department
You
of
know,
Transportation.
I don't mean, again, God bless you for coming
And
up
it's
and
safety
speaking your
issue.
mind, and you just said about 5 minutes ago, it's not town property. But, and it's a part of transportation property, actually, in New York State, as you know, and we discussed this
We
several
have
times.
discussed that, Brad, but I think
So-
you're still inappropriate.
Yeah. So I believe that I wish you would only stick and take this moment in your time, and we're going to start the clock over if you really like it, and talk about town business.
I am talking about town business, and the reason I'm talking about town business will become clear if you will let me continue with my statement.
Very well, but just
Brad,
be
can
clear.
we
if-
stop editorializing?
Just be
let her
clear
finish?
that if you do not talk about town business, you
As I
will
said-
be asked to leave.
As I said, it will become clear that this is indeed about town business if you will let me complete my statement. Thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I'm speaking tonight because the events took place in a public space.
And
and
can you
there-
bring the microphone closer?
Sure, absolutely. I'm speaking tonight because these events took place in a public space and therefore affect all of us. In the weeks I have been peacefully protesting in Fountain Square, the verbal threatening assault I endured on July 15th was the first and only time I was in actual fear for my well-being. The perpetrator of this assault came by foot, screaming insults, verbal assaults, and Trump, Trump, Trump. She could be heard blocks away. Several citizens,
I mean, it's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't care if she can go on any street corner.
But we know that you don't care from the very beginning.
It's not about me.
I've only been here for 5 minutes.
You know, no, you're out of order too. And is this how you, is this what you?
Brad,
is this how you-
Brad, this is public comment,
Is this
and
how you
you're,
treat your children? Is this what you teach them?
Please call the meeting back to order, Mr. Chairman.
okay, order. I'm the supervisor. I'm really sick of the interruptions, Brad. That means from you as well. Just keep
Well-
your mouth shut until she finishes saying what she's going to say.
No,
Thank you.
I won't, because
Thank you.
she's obviously just ignoring the rules.
You just made up this rule.
May I
Brad.
finish?
Leo,
This is town business. If someone feels unsafe, if someone has been threatened
That is
on the
town
streets of a meeting, how is that not town business?
It's right in front of me, the rules. Now, you're making up some
Tell
sort
me
of
what
a-
the rule is.
It's point of order. Ian, you want to go through it again?
So if there's a point of order, it's been overruled by, or it appears to be overruled by the chair, so they, or the supervisor in this
Thank you.
instance. So you may continue.
Thank you.
Anybody
you.
can
Thank
bring
you.
up the point of order, though, is my
Thank,
understanding.
You go right ahead.
Yes,
Brad,
you can make a
overrule it.
point of order, and it was overruled in this instance by the
All right,
supervisor.
well, the supervisor is allowing it.
thank you.
Exactly.
Point of parliamentary procedure.
Thank you.
After the first
All right, can we start the clock and everyone be quiet until this conversation is
May I continue from where I
Because
was?
I'm really
or
getting annoyed.
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
may-
going to clear the room in a minute.
May I continue from where I was, or should I start at the beginning?
You
Continue
can
from
start at
where
the
you were.
beginning.
Okay, I will start at the beginning. First of all, thank you for this opportunity to address the false and derogatory comments made about me on public forums. These confrontational and slanderous attacks are not just concerning, they are a sad misrepresentation of our community, and as my attorney assures me, are ample grounds for civil suits should they continue. I'm speaking tonight because these events took place in a public space and therefore affect all of us. In the weeks I have been peacefully protesting in Fountain Square, the verbal threatening assault I endured on July 15th was the first and only time I was in actual fear of my well-being. The perpetrator of this assault came by foot, screaming insults, verbal attacks, and Trump, Trump, Trump. She could be heard blocks away. Several citizens witnessed her harassment and have since let it be known what they saw. She threatened, and I quote, that she was going to come every day and make my life a living hell. Our postmaster was present in Fountain Square, witnessed her hostility and hateful rhetoric, which prompted him to call the police. As she went around the square reading my signs, she said again, and I quote, figures, another liberal Democrat loving on the, and here she used a racial slur that I refuse to repeat. She then continued, why don't you care about real Americans? Any person capable of that kind of slur has no respect for anyone. Her anger and hostility were incredibly frightening. I tried turning away from her each time, but she followed right on my heels. I was literally unable to move to a safe distance from her and was forced to call 911 myself. Anyone that has witnessed or interacted with me during my daily protest can attest that I am always courteous, that I approach my interactions with decency and calm civility, even in the face of MAGA hostility, often wishing those yelling obscenities from their cars to have a nice day. There are more than a dozen eyewitnesses that will attest to the actual events of that afternoon. I want to be perfectly clear here. I don't believe that the gravity of the situation has yet come to light. I was terrorized by a fellow resident of our community on July 15th. She was not there to have a discussion. She was not there to peacefully protest. She was there for one purpose and one purpose only, to harass, bully, and threaten me. If anyone through extreme hostility makes another citizen fear for their well-being, it is an insult to our constitutional freedoms and the civility that should be shown to our fellow citizens. I look to our representatives to condemn hateful rhetoric and behavior aimed at our residents, all of them. I've been a member of this community for over 20.
5 seconds, just so you know.
I'm sorry?
5 seconds.
Okay. I've been a member of this community for over 20 years. We're better than this.
Your time.
We are a kind community that looks out for our neighbors, at least most of us. No one should ever be subjected to the kind of terrifying hostility that I was on July 15th
Excuse me,
for
ma'am.
simply
Your time is
exercising
up.
their First Amendment rights. That's not only reprehensible,
your time
it's
is up.
un-American.
Time's up, right?
I
Oh,
also,
what's all that about?
I also have.
Like signing each other here or something?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I also have libel proof of comments that were made online about me, and I made copies for each of you.
We're still going on the time here, huh?
Okay, just give them to Ian and he'll
It's
distribute.
on the second page, I've highlighted, and those would be libel rather than slanderous.
Thank you.
I have
Okay.
one more-
Any other public comments?
No?
No.
Sorry.
Can we, does anyone else want to speak? I think you spoke previously and
She gets to talk, I
she didn't get to speak when you spoke and you're also running for office.
Hold on, she's getting up to talk about town business, Leo.
Yes, but she's already had an opportunity to speak. I thought this made it reasonable that we were ending the conversation.
She can talk about town business.
Speaking of hateful rhetoric,
Okay.
right here I have Kimberly Travis's Facebook page, and behind her picture here, it says, I'm not part of the tolerant left, I'm part of the eat shit and die you racist motherfuckers. That's on her Facebook page.
Is that town business, Brian?
Sounds
No,
like
this
it.
is what you guys
And we're
should
talking
know.
about a Facebook page.
Yes, it's
What
on
does
her-
that have to do with anything? I mean, really, Brian, this is incredibly
No,
political.
You want to talk about hateful rhetoric and what people say? You should.
Okay,
You want to hear? No, Leo. You think I'm a hateful person? This is the most hateful stuff I've seen in a very long time. Here's another thing. How do you motherfuckers go home and explain to your own families what they're doing every fucking day?
Okay, no swearing, number one, and,
I'm reading you. You want to sit here and say that I did something hateful? This woman, the cops didn't give me a ticket. They told me it was my First Amendment right to sit there and counter-protest her. I wasn't given a ticket for anything that day. And they actually when she was told that I get to stay, she was furious. And they asked her point blank, did she assault you? No, I didn't touch her. I didn't say anything. I was pointing out to her different things that I believe that she has misunderstood about Trump. Whether she likes it or not, the traffic is loud. Did it get loud down there? Sure, 100%. No,
Okay.
This is her hateful. There are dolls
I think we've
here
had enough.
calling all
Sit down,
MAGA,
please.
Calling all white
Sit
Trump
down,
supporters
please.
maggots. No, you
Not
wanna
if
talk
she's already
about-
spoken about on this subject previously. No, not tonight.
So F you maggots, these are all her posts. These are all of her stuff. You MFing Supremes, eat a sack of shit and effing die already. You clearly care nothing about Constitution you were sworn to uphold. May you all have long, painful deaths. That's off her Facebook page.
Oh,
This is your Facebook. This is her Facebook page.
Okay,
These
I'd
are
like to
her
make a
posts.
motion to enter into executive session, please.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Are there any other
thanks.
comments
No. Okay,
about town business?
no, we're clearing the room, we're going into executive session. Thank you all. We probably will.
I think we should hear him. He's got the right to speak.
I'm shutting down
Are we
what's
making
gotten
any
completely out of control,
decisions?
Brad, thanks to your
When
encouragement.
we come back from.
Leo,
Okay.
Leo, you had an opportunity to shut this
We
down
have a
from
di-
the
we have-
onset, but you allowed this.
Okay,
Comment
just,
session.
we're closing public
Yeah.
comment, thank you, and we are going into executive session.
You should take credit for what you have done and
Okay, I move that we go back into
Regular
public.
meeting.
Our regular meeting. We'll say our public meeting,
Time
regular
is
meeting.
8:10.
A second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
I am happy to entertain comments now, as long as they don't relate to that interaction, because that is not going to happen in this room again.
Amen.
I understand people's upset, but it really is not something that we should be dealing with, and the situation got out of control. So if anyone has any actual town business that they'd like to discuss, okay, Ken?
Can I start with a joke?
Hey, I was quoting.
Man, they're
Clayton.
tough acts to follow, and I'd hate, main act.
But no swearing.
Yeah. I just wanted to let you know where we're at so far with the Harvest Festival. We made our presentation 2 weeks ago. We have more and more people showing interest. We're definitely committed with the CARES van. Dutchess County is just locking that in, the health van. We've had some very good suggestions as to the emergency animal care, thank you. We're talking about having the repair cafe out there as well. We have several list of vendors, signs will be going up, we're going to put a banner across, as I mentioned, and a budget has been submitted to Charlie. And I know the budget, he's reviewing it, I don't know if it's been presented to you or not, but we are within that $12,500. And a couple of committees have said that there's money in their budget to absorb some of these costs. We have already $500 committed, and we haven't really gone out to let people know that there is an opportunity. So this is going to be quite an event at a good time of the year that's going to help engage people in the community. And have a pleasant afternoon. So thank you.
Ken, did Margie catch up with you?
Yes,
From the-
she
Yes,
came to the
she
last
came to the
meeting.
last meeting.
Okay, perfect.
Had some great suggestions, and
I think she's
Because we
helped.
really, she was very excited, and we all
Yeah.
were. We all are, for that matter. Yeah.
She's really helpful. She's
Yeah.
working, to take care of decoration along with Amanda Chamberlain. So it's going to be quite a nice event.
Thank you. Thank you. Judy?
One quick thing, you didn't give a reason for going into executive session. I'm not sure there actually is one that would fit the situation. What you can do in future, if God forbid anything happens like that again, is you can adjourn briefly and then come back.
Judy, that's not going to happen again.
For legal advice.
Legal advice.
Or legal advice.
Judy, let me just say,
Okay,
we've all talked, and it's never going to happen again. We've learned our lesson.
I sincerely hope so. This is on the safety. I wanted to speak to the safety question. I do think that it needs to be taken seriously. It's not just schools, and it's not just because there are small children there. This is a society that that is in many ways breaking down, and I think people deserve to feel safe while they're here. Walkie-talkies would be more useful than the phone, largely because, first of all, you have to be near enough the phone to speak into it. Secondly, you can only broadcast that to rooms that have a phone. If someone's in the auditorium, they are not going to hear anything. If someone can't get close to it, it's heard or whatever, they're not going to hear it. And secondly, if someone sees a person out in the hall with a gun and wants to let other people know, it would be nice to not broadcast it to him too. Those are things that, I think are serious considerations when it comes to walkie-talkies as opposed to a phone system. At the school, another advantage to having a swipe to get into the building is that instead of trying to get a key back from somebody who may have had 10 copies made, for all you know, they simply get taken off the list and it doesn't work. So that's my comment on the safety system.
great.
Thank you, Judy.
Anyone else? Hey, Charlie.
Hey, I'll tell you, fun night. I used to go to these
3 minutes, Charlie.
community, I know, I'm going to set it. I used to go to these community board meetings in the city, and this was very tame by those standards, so everybody just take a breath. It's totally fine. As I say many
There were
times,
fistfights.
only the crazy people come to these meetings. Okay, so on the town hall security, the town board, there has been, I know Leah's brought it up a couple of times about the lighting, the exterior lighting. So Leo has put together a lighting scheme because the town board didn't want to hire a lighting designer. So hopefully maybe he can present that at the next meeting, and we can move forward with that because I think lighting would be very helpful. As Dawn said, just you can't see really out because we don't have good lighting here. So you guys approved advertising for bids for the Lavelle Road Pump House and Wells 4 and 4A. Those will be published on next Thursday in our paper, as will the, I've got the notice I'll send to you, as will the bids for the site work at the new highway garage. So both of those will be published next Thursday. Nobody mentioned the river cruise, so I just wanted to mention that. I believe it's the senior trip, right? It's October the 4th. So people should call to sign up, and this sort of goes into Channel 22. Channel 22 is broadcasting. It is the cards for information that we don't have right now, and our AV consultant has sent us information, and
But
hopefully...
the last 2 times I watched Channel 22, the volume's not working on it.
It's fixed now.
Oh, it is?
It's fixed now.
Yeah, there was a.
I have nothing to do with that.
Complaint earlier,
Yeah.
too.
Okay, I still have a minute and 25 seconds. What else can I say while I'm up here? I think that's it. I would say that if all committees, I'll send out an email, but it would be good to start getting the budget worksheets back. If anybody's had any issues with them, let me know. And as Leo said, we will, I would imagine next year we should probably start having community sessions to get people's feedback about EMS service, because it is the largest line item in our budget this year. Next year, it is going up significantly. The next year, it will go up again. And then after that, it will easily be $1 million if we are using Empress, because they are a union shop. We don't have a union shop now. So I think it should be something that the whole community discusses. I don't have a lot of faith in the county, but anyway, so thank you.
I know this is probably out of order, but just...
You can probably make a public comment, President, or a
No, well, actually, something that Charlie said that sparked my memory about the EMS services. I wasn't totally clear, and you might want to talk to Bill Flood about this, but he said in other counties, they deputize the EMSs, and it's under the deputy sheriff's purview, and it eliminates a lot of the cost.
That's what had been suggested to the county, was that they actually do it through the sheriff's office. But at this point, the county is saying that while they've provided fly cars, which is some help, but not on this side of the county, because they're all on the other side, which is more densely settled. There has been conversation about trying to pull it under the county's umbrella, but apparently until New York State declares EMS I'm sorry, I'm not even talking to the mic. Until they declare EMS an essential service, the county doesn't have any way to get the towns to comply. In other words, there are towns now that don't pay for an EMS service, and the rest of the towns are paying for them. So it really needs to be looked at sort of holistically, and I am sending letters to our state representatives to see if I can move that at all.
My understanding of the issue as it sits now is that the county cannot intervene under municipal home rule, which prevents them from taking over what is a town's responsibility at this point. Not by law, because it's not a mandatory service. However, that is why the county has created a supplemental service. And so it's supplementing the services that are currently in existence. That program has been in effect for a little while now. There's been multiple, this is I think the second quarter that it's been in. There's another round of data on that, and the data on that is very good. It's very, very effective.
It may be, but they've never been to a media. They've never been
Well,
called to a
they're,
media.
there's.
Or they
they've
were
never-
once and it got canceled.
Is it we just don't have the volume as usual?
My understanding is
That's
that
the-
there have
There's
been no calls.
Right.
There's
that
been no
they've
calls
been
for me.
needed
Right.
to be on
That's why they're not
So
out here,
Amelia
because
is-
we don't have the calls.
Correct. Well, you have a
We have the
contract.
calls.
You have a contract that has been satisfied through your current contract. Your need is satisfied, so there's no necessity for
For
a
the over-
supplemental
right.
service. The challenges that we have on this side of the county are geographic. Combine that with lack of calls, it makes for an interesting dilemma. So as the county's program develops, and as this situation develops, because it's not unique here, it's a problem everywhere, and the contract prices are going up to the range that Charlie mentioned, that I don't even want to mention, because they're astronomical.
I'll just say quickly, we aren't the only town that uses our current EMS. So Washington, so the town of Washington, the village of Millbrook, so it's all of us who do this, and we're all going to get it. And although the county has done this, it's very small. It's like $3 million. It's nothing. There's a lot of creative ways that the county could deal with this. They could create a fund. They could do supplemental. They could, pay towns. There's a million different ways outside of ultimately having a countywide thing. But it will take all of the towns coming together to, in a unified voice, to make change with this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is an issue that it's so multifaceted with so many issues and problems that it's not a simple issue. But it is one that I think cost will drive an answer, because it's becoming almost cost prohibitive for a number of municipalities.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's unfortunate is that because it's so spread out in this part of the county, that our per person cost for EMS is much bigger than, certainly much bigger than, Dover pays much less than we do per capita, and Poughkeepsie pays, basically nothing per capita because everyone's so close together, and there are more users.
Major problem you have is there's a number of municipalities that don't have a service at all.
And that too, yes.
So there's multiple issues with that, and the county is dealing with that issue. But the data there is data out, and you can look at the data on the success of that program as of now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I move that we go into our third executive session because we have to discuss a new lawsuit that we were served with, a new Article 78 lawsuit we were served with regarding the resolution of Kent Hollow. And so we are going to be talking to the attorney who represented us throughout the original case. So thank you all for coming.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Brad. The time is 8:23. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And to let the audience know, we're not coming back to public.
Well, there's no anticipated.
Right, I mean, there shouldn't be any
Okay.
action, so yeah, just
They always
We have to go back
advise.
to a public.
They always ask, but not to do action.
Right, just to close.
So she knows if she's staying or not.